Hi, and welcome back. This is Aaron Anastasi from Superior Singing Method. And this video is part of our series, The Psychology of Being a Singer, and the emphasis on the being part, like who do we have to be in order to become a great singer, to be successful as a singer. And honestly, all these principles of just to be successful in life, to make more money, to have stronger relationships, to be close to your dreams, all those things, I believe that's been my experience, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So this is the 3 laws of becoming a singer. Now, these ideas come from a book, great book, if you want to check it out. It's called The 3 Laws of Performance. And so I'm basically taking those ideas and plugging them into what it looks like to be a singer within that context. So let's get started. The first one is, the first law is that our performance is based on how things occur to us. Okay, our performance is based on how things occur to us. This is really important. The gravity of this is, we'll kind of get into it. It's not necessarily reality affects how what happens with our performance. And let me just talk a little bit about performance. I'm not talking about your singing performance. It could be your singing performance for sure, but I'm talking about any action and any step that you take in life ever is based on how a situation is occurring to you, how it seems to you, what it feels like to you massively affects the way that you, of what you do, the way that you interact with people, the actions you take. And so we'll say more about that. Well, let me just back up and say, your perspective, how it's occurring to you, the exact same situation is occurring differently, slightly different to every single person that potentially is in that same conversation, in that same circumstance that you know, maybe you're all in the same place. It's occurring to them differently because of all their thoughts, all their limiting thoughts in their mind, all the conversations they're having with themselves in their head about the situation, of like, they're thinking about what happened as opposed to what you did a year ago or what they did and all their frame of reference. So it's occurring to everybody differently, but it seems to them as if it's occurring the exact same way for everybody. If I lost you there, just stay with me. Well, this will all make more sense. The main thing for here is that what we do is a direct result of how things occur to us, how they seem to us, and it may be different for everybody. Okay, so the second law, again, this will make more sense as we get into it. I'll give some like anecdotal kind of examples. The second law says, the way things occur to us arise in language. And this is important because the way things occur to us aren't because of situations. They aren't because of what somebody did or said or how a situation unfolded or we got what we wanted or we didn't get what we wanted or any of that. It's our thoughts about that. Language, when I say they occur in language, it's conversations with self is generally the language, okay? So let me give you an analogy because I just in case I'm losing you here, just kind of bring it down to brass tacks here. Let's say I'm walking into a room, or you're walking into a room, and in that room are people that you really look up to and respect. Let's say, they've got more money or they've got more success or maybe they're the gatekeepers for an industry that you want to be in or whatever it is. They're just like, in your world, they're important people. I believe everybody's equal, but you know what I'm saying. There's people that seem more important because they're, for whatever reason. So you're walking into that room and notice your thoughts as you walk into that room. Okay, so if I'm walking into a room and my thoughts are, because the second law is that the way this situation, I'm in this situation now walking into this room full of people, notice that the way my thoughts are, this like how the situation is occurring to me is arising in some type of language in my mind, okay? And this is going to affect the way that I am, that I be, that I act because of this language that's rising up, okay? So stay with me here. If my thoughts when I walk in there are, I don't know these people, they don't like me probably, I don't really measure up, I'm going to be awkward, I don't want to say much because I'll look stupid, I'm just going to kind of be, hopefully maybe somebody will talk to me, but I'm not going to, okay. So notice just those thoughts that are going through my mind. Like 100 miles an hour, just thoughts go, we don't even notice it. We think it's thinking, but it's usually these repeated thoughts of like, I'm not good enough, I don't want to look stupid. It's usually stuff like that. So we're occurring to ourself, and the situation is occurring to us in a certain way, and it's affecting our being, okay? It's affecting how we show up in that moment, all right? So If I walk in there and I'm shy and I'm timid and I don't think these people are going to like me, in that situation, I'm going to get a certain result. I just am. And people might think I'm arrogant because I'm quiet. So they perceive it as like, he's not very friendly, he's arrogant. It could be any number of things, but it's going to show up a certain way. Okay, so I'm going to come back to this analogy, but I'm just going to go to the third law really quick, and then we'll pull everything together. So if you're just like, what is this guy talking about? Well, how does it apply to singing? Just bear with me for a second. The third law is that future-based language changes the way things occur to us. Future-based language changes the way things occur to us. Okay, so if the first law says our performance, everything we do, is based on how things occur to us, and if the way things occur to us arise in language, some kind of conversation in our head, the solution is that future-based language changes the way things occur to us. So if we can get into this idea of whatever this future-based language thing is, we can change the way things occur to us and therefore affect our performance in everything, our actions, our thoughts, and how we go about doing these things in life. Okay, so what is future-based language then? Future-based language is a declaration or a commitment or a vision that you set up. Okay, so let's go back to our little analogy here. So now I'm walking into that room. Same people are in there. Circumstance hasn't changed a bit. Doesn't matter what circumstances never matter. Our feelings are coming from our thoughts. They're not coming from circumstances. I know that's a big idea to wrap your mind around, but it's a big idea for me to wrap my mind around. Okay, so walking into this room, let's say I use some future-based language to walk in this room. There's some things that I'm committed to. There's some declarations that I make as I walk into this room, and I say, I'm committed to cause certain things in everybody I come in contact with. Everybody I come in contact with, I want to make them feel accepted. I know I wanted to feel accepted, but I'm going to throw that out the door. I'm going to be committed to helping them feel accepted. Everybody I talk to, I want them to feel inspired. So whatever it is, I'm going to act in such a way that they're going to be inspired. And I want them to feel loved. I want them to walk away and for them to just feel a warm feeling of like, man, I just feel loved by that person. So when I walk in with that commitment, with that future-based language, the future being like, when I walk into this room, this is what I'm committed to. This is my vision. This is my declaration for that room. I'm going to show up differently. And how do you think people are going to respond to me? If I'm committed to that, I'm going to get a much different result when I walk into that room. Okay? So let's talk about singing for a second. So let me just back up. The first rule is the way our performance and anything we do is based on how things occur to us. The occurrence arises in some type of language or conversation in our head. And if we can make these declarations or commitments or get a really clear vision, it could change the way things occur to us, and we can create a new future. Because we live into the future we see coming toward us. So if we start thinking, I'm a bad singer, they're not going to like me. If I start doing these vocal lessons, it's not going to help me because I suck. The industry is impossible to break into. I mean, these are all the kinds of thoughts that make a situation occur to us in a certain way and affect our performance. So we think it's just about whether or not I'm in the mood to do this vocal exercise, but there's so much else going on in the background that we don't realize, all these other thoughts that we have that are keeping us from doing these small little things, that as we do these small little things, they will equal a big thing eventually. But it's doing these small things that really matter. So as a singer, I don't care where you are on the spectrum. Again, if you're a beginner, you're intermediate, you're an expert, it doesn't matter. There are certain things that we want in life that if we can make clear declarations and clear commitments and clear visions of what it is, it will change the way things occur to us, and it will move us farther in the direction of being whatever that thing is that we want to be. Okay, so sorry if I totally lost you with this, but the main big idea is get really clear about what it is that you want. And that's no small task. We avoid getting clear, and there's a reason for that, because the clearer we get, the more accountable we feel, and the more scared we are, because the more we are at risk and at stake. But if you really want to accomplish something, if you have a dream that you want that's surrounded by singing, or it could be relationally or financially, whatever it is, get super, 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 super clear about what it is that you want. and make a vision and even a time goal for what that is. Let me give you one quick example and then we'll wrap up here. My wife and I, we were $30,000 in debt. That's a lot of debt. And so we had decided we were committed to getting out of debt by her birthday. And her birthday, my wife's birthday, was going to be 9 months from that time. That's a lot of money to get out of debt in that short of time, but we were just like, we're going to do this. We're going to figure out how to do this. And so once we made that deck, this is that future-based language. Once we made, okay, this is what we're committed to. Debt-free, total freedom, no more masters, when we owe somebody, they become like our masters to some degree. This is what we want. It's a compelling vision. This is the future we see, and we're going to live into this future. And 9 months later, we were completely debt-free. Because once we got in action, all these other options and opportunities started popping up that we didn't see in the moment, but as we got into action and began to move forward with that commitment toward that thing, it came to fruition. So those are the 3 laws of becoming a singer. I mean, those are the 3 laws of performance, but anything that you want surrounding singing, these 3 laws could really serve you in order to get what you want and accomplish the dreams that you have. Okay? So finally is believe in your bigness. There's more in you than you realize. Click here if you want my favorite vocal exercise and about 15 good minutes of content about, becoming a better singer. And also click that link, or it's the link below. Subscribe if you haven't yet for all the videos that I do. And leave me a comment, because I am writing a book about the psychology of being a singer, and I'd love your input and your feedback on that, because I would like to write it as a part of my community here and really serve my community in that way. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bam. Oh man, crank that. That's like a full course you just did, basically.
Totally. That is like a...
It's like 90 minutes worth of